Hello and welcome to an episode of Historically Mart. I am Jason in Pontiac, Illinois. I'm actually just north of the city. But behind me is the Old Log Cabin restaurant. This place was literally moved. I'll explain more about that in a historical marker right here. But last time I was here was 5 years ago in the fall of 2020. It was during the pandemic when a lot of things were closed. This place is closed. It was open earlier, but you know how things go with today's trying times. But I'm going to revisit Pontiac, see if there's anything brand new here, and I'll re-show you some of the historical markers I did in a video that is now set to private. So enjoy the journey and get my kicks. Why don't you come with me? Okay, so again, this is the Old Log Cabin, and you may have to look online. Okay, so it is closed on Sunday. Today is Sunday as I'm doing this. I still have not eaten here. Looks like they have a really nice patio back here. I'm just going to take a look real quick. Oh yeah. So there are many of these historical markers north and south and within Pontiac. But here is a little history about the Log Cabin Inn. So Route 66 provided a steady income for family businesses like Joe and Victor Babe Salotis Log Cabin Inn. Joe barbecued beef and pork on a spit-out back, while Babe filled gas tanks and fixed flats. When Route 66 was relocated to the backside of the cabin, the owners jacked it up and turned it around to face the new road. Hundreds of Pontiac residents came to witness the event. So that's the original alignment. That's the new alignment. I'll show you signs of those. In the 1940s, Route 66 was widened to 4 lanes and relocated to the west side of the business, where it is today. The sturdy cabin was jacked up and turned 180 degrees with horses to face the new road. And this is what it looked like back in 1926. And passport rubbers, here you go. And this doesn't exist anymore, but yeah, there was a talking crow here that Joe himself trained to talk while people were drinking beer. Okay, so as you can see, I'm out in the country, but the city of Pontiac's just right there. And there are signs that show which alignments to take. Like I said, this city takes its history on Route 66 seriously, as well as it's Abraham Lincoln related. But if you want to take the original 1926 route, you go that way. And up there's a sign that says if you want to just take the 1930 to 1939 route, you just go simply right there. But I do highly recommend taking both if you have extra time. I mean, it won't really eat up much of your time, but anywho, we're going to go into town now. Okay, so now we're at the historic Division Street Bridge, and it looks very different from the last time I was here. Then again, it was 5 years ago. There was one of them historical markers there. But here is something from the Illinois Route 66 Association. Okay, so the original bridge was built in 1926 as part of Route 4, which Route 66 replaced. On November 11th, 1926, the alignment of Route 4 through Pontiac became U.S. Route 66. In the early days, the highways were marked with paint using a stencil on utility poles and on bridge end posts. Somehow, the stencilized image survived. This is very rare. In 2005, Livingston County rebuilt the bridge. They preserved and reattached the original end posts and duplicate the railing styles. Saving and reusing the end posts of the bridge had never been done before. In 2007, the stencilized image was restored to its original 1926 appearance. So we're going to walk on that bridge. And yeah, that's just a sign that tells you it's the museum. I don't know, it still looks good. I'm sure somebody repainted it in recent times, maybe months ago or maybe years ago. But yeah, isn't that cool? But it looks good, just in time for 2026. So visitors from all over the world, Route 66 enthusiasts that is, can check it out. Here's another historical marker as you're going through what is considered Bloody 66. But it says here on the marker, it's patrolling Bloody 66. Don't worry about that house, it's private property. Route 66 was one of the most dangerous roads in the nation, earning it the nickname Bloody 66. From this District 6 headquarters building, state police patrolled the hard road between Dwight and McLean. They enforced safety laws and offered aid to motorists and accident victims. And I don't know if, yeah, it doesn't work. but it was read by Broderick Crawford. I'm sure it's seen many weather patterns. But here are two law enforcement men, Captain Francis Mowry on the left, Lieutenant Chester Henry. They were both inducted into the Route 66 Association of the Illinois Hall of Fame for their years of service on the Mother Road. They witnessed, unfortunately, many highway tragedies. In fact, it says here, most accidents happen at intersections with county roads or railroad crossings. A bad stretch north of Pontiac had the nickname Dead Man's Alley. All right, continuing down North Ladd. This is First Baptist Church in Pontiac. And here was once an underground crossing. The historical marker tells all about it. Another one from the Illinois State Historic Scenic Byway. It says here, civic leaders welcomed Route 66 through Pontiac in 1926 as a boon for business. However, parents were concerned about their children crossing this dangerous speedway. As a solution, the State Highway Commission excavated a tunnel under the road. Students crossed beneath the busy road to reach school until 1945, when a new Route 66 alignment bypassed the city. Of course, none of the ghosts, you can't really see where it was, but I imagine it was probably right where I'm standing. Now right here is Ladd School, of course named after the street. But concerned parents, they signed a petition and demand a center island refuge for safety be constructed in front of the school, as it says here. And here is a copy of that. And here's a nearby business that is long gone, the Indian Inn on the corner of Ladd and Livingston, which is near here. Down here is what the tunnel looked like. So, I mean, kids would have to go down steps. And these are all interesting because some of these underground crossings, they don't exist anymore. Some do. The only ones I've actually been in are in Oklahoma. There's one in Chelsea, Oklahoma that Route 66 travelers can do, and there's also one in Sayre. And I feel like I'm leaving something out, but I don't know for sure. There was also one in Odell, the previous town. And there's also one not too far from where I live in Madison, Illinois, or Grant City. But a lot of these underground crossings have been paved over or filled with dirt, or I don't know, some just were kind of abandoned and now they've reopened. So, but yeah. So if you go down the original 1926 alignment, you'll just go straight into downtown. Nice shield. And then you'll see the Illinois Historic Route 66 Museum. I first visited here 5 years ago once again, and I highly recommend it. I'm not going to do it on this trip, but you can also get the War Museum, the Waldmire experience. I'll explain more about that. Museum of the Civil War, life in the 1940s, and life on the Titanic. And yes, once again, I highly recommend all that. And this was once an old fire station. And the last time I was here, there was a lot of cool stuff to check out, like Bob Waldmire's road yacht, the vehicle that he drove in, that he converted. It was out of an old school bus. It's not there, but, and there's also the big mural over there. I'll show you that, but I can't get any closer, unfortunately, because this is off limits. So yeah, I'm not sure why they did this right at the centennial year, but I'm sure maybe sooner it'll be open to the public. But I can show you from my 2020 footage what I have. But you can still view the Bob Waldmire mural. This was one that he left unfinished. If you don't know who Bob Waldmire is, I'll give you a little 1-minute history on him. He is the unofficial Route 66 hippie. He was enshrined at the Illinois Route 66 Hall of Fame. He lived from 1945 to 2009. His parents owned Cozy Dog Drive-In in Springfield, or Southern View. But he, at one time, owned that one place in Arizona that I did an episode on. The name escapes me at the moment. Now I'm gonna freak out. But at the Santa Monica Pier, right at the very tip as you go near the ocean, they do have a memorial to him, and some of his ashes were spread out in the Pacific Ocean there. But once again, he did a lot of murals. He drew postcards, among other pieces of art, around Route 66. I mean, Route 66 was his life, and he knew that. But he died at an early age. And again, this is unfinished, but he let a lot of other people finish what he started, and that's really cool. This is really nice. And besides the begin and end signs in Chicago off of Michigan Avenue, this is the most photographed and most popular selfie spot along Route 66 in Illinois, is that mural. And while you're in Pontiac, be sure to check out all their murals. They do have QR codes where you can scan the history of them and who painted them. Very retro looking. Oh look, there's even one about Lipton Tea, the Lipton Highway. Okay, now we're at the old state police station just south of Pontiac. Final stretch through this town. And there are two historical markers, both put up by the Illinois Route 66 Scenic Byway organization. This one comes with a silhouette statue. Yeah, he's ready. And this right here, okay, that is what you can drive on Route 66. This is what you can't drive on. Yeah, I mean, it's road ends, but I can just walk on it real quick. Whoopee. Really cool that Illinois does preserve some of its old road bed, especially when you're parallels with Interstate 55. But here is one of the first historical markers here. The Illinois State Police was formed in 1922 to protect motorists. 20 officers patrolled the state on surplus World War I Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Radio-equipped cycles revolutionized communications in the 1930s. The Illinois State Police shifted towards squad cars and ended motorcycle patrol in 1949. And going back to that one we saw about, you know, the Bloody 66. Yeah, this is very relatable. In recent years, the Illinois Motorcycle Patrol has made a comeback mostly in cities. Motorcycles are agile for a quick response and easily concealed for monitoring traffic. They also are familiar escorts for parades and presidents. Here's a 2006 picture of them. Now I'm going to see on Google Maps, you can't, obviously I don't have a drone or anything like that, but if I did, I could probably see if the rumors are true. This is shaped like a handgun if viewed from the sky. And obviously I can't go in, but I'm sure a lot of Route 66 travelers from all over like to get a nice view of it. And then there's the interstate entrance. You can see the big Wally's sign. Wally's was, I think they've been here for 2 or 3 years now. The other one's in Fenton, Missouri. It's kind of a Buc-ee's knockoff, but not really. Then here's the other one. Yeah, it says here gun-shaped headquarters. This building was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in March 2007. Thank you, architect, for making it that way. This building was home to state troopers who risked their lives every day patrolling Route 66. By the 1940s, Route 66 carried more traffic than any other highway in the state. The Illinois District 6 State Police headquarters was built here in 1941 to provide easy access to the hard road, but it closed in 2003 when a new headquarters opened in Pontiac. Okay, so yeah, it is shaped like a revolver or a pistol. But yeah, here's what it looked like during the heyday. Here's a picture from 1977. And it looks like the passport stamp is gone, but oh well. Alright, so I hope I gave all the Route 66 enthusiasts and travelers plenty of reasons to stop in Pontiac. So much to see in this town. I mean, it is one of the best Illinois Route 66 towns. Not just coming from me, it's coming from a lot of other people who have been through here, but still, I mean, coming from Chicago to Pontiac, this, by the way, is the first 100 miles of Route 66 or so. There's an organization that literally calls itself that, the first 100 miles on Route 66. And then you go into small town, then Normal and Bloomington, Lincoln, Broadwell, Sherman, Springfield, and then on to St. Louis. So hope you guys enjoy the journey. Plan your trip out carefully. All right, I am Jason, outside Pontiac, Illinois, sign off.